All right, this is for Mabel. I'm just going to kind of freewheel this and don't expect to have to use Zbrush for this. I'm just using it because it's what I'm comfortable in. I'm also going to make sure I bring up your reference on another page. So I'm going to run puref. Let's go ahead and get that right there. I'm going to go ahead and grab your character reference. Here we are. Let's do this. So I'm going to grab that in here. And I'm going to go ahead and grab some of your other reference because you guys got a lot of cool stuff going on. Let's go drop some of that in here. And let's see what else. Some of y'all's original designs too, just in case we find something we like. Cool. All right. So the main thing, let me make sure that's always on top. Mode, always on top. Okay. So the main thing I'm seeing here is that your character is getting a little blocky, and none of your references or your designs feel particularly blocky, right? Like this is kind of the design I see you guys are trying to go for, but I'm a little confused as to like what sort of what changes you guys are going for here. So let me go ahead and, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and delete these things. I don't think these things are doing me any favors. I'm going to focus on just big forms. So I'm going to get that curvature. You have that like cool rhythm going on here. So I'm just going to, actually in this case, I'm going to make this a low poly mesh. So in my program, I'm using ZRemesher, which just remeshes the thing. So I just want this to be low poly because then I can just smooth it. I might even do, let's see, let's ZRemesh it even lower. So it depends on, I don't know how much you guys have made changes to your concept. But yeah, that's the main concern I have right now is your character's feeling really, really blocky. And it doesn't quite match the look that I'm seeing from your references. So I'm just coming in here and I'm just going to go ahead and sort of go for this look here, which is what I think you guys are trying to get. So whatever program you're using, right? Let's go ahead and, so I'm using this, which is, and ZBrush is called Trim Dynamic. What it does is it just kind of adds like a plane to a surface. So it takes that edge and then it planerizes, that's not a word, but you know what I mean. Essentially gives it like a plane instead of an edge there. And not, I mean, maybe the backside could have an edge. That's kind of cool. It's cool to have some variation to your surfaces. Okay, cool. I like that. I'm gonna get rid of, or I'm gonna hide some of these other pieces because I feel like they're not quite as crucial. So let's see, where's this one? I'm gonna hide these ones. There we go. All right. So I see this guy feels like he has almost like, what I might do is I might insert cylinder, turn on some tree, ZRemesh this so it's really low poly, and I'm using what's called Dynamesh, or sorry, Dynamesh, Dynamic Subdivision, which is like smooth preview in Maya, um, which I'm sure Sculptress, or not Sculptress, Nomad Sculpt probably has something very similar, I'm sure. So we're just going to pull that down. Because you have this like cool like shape here and then this other shape on top of it, like this compound shape. And so we're missing the compound shape. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's go ahead and mirror and weld that. And I'm just going to take this and now we can kind of get them to work together. And then I can merge them together later on, but let's see. So it feels like, let's try out symmetry. This should be continuous from the front, but from the back is where we, oops, we see this transition based on your concept. And so what I can do on this one is I can, play around and reinforce some planes if I want to. So right now I'm using what's called hard polish, which is something that can be used to, flatten a surface or emphasize a plane. But even if I'm going to have some planes to this, I'm going to make sure my this thing overall feels pretty curvilinear or curvy, just because your character feels slick, right? And I want this to feel slick as well. If I'm understanding kind of the design philosophy correctly. His legs do feel kind of small here, so I'm going to go ahead and just scale these up. Let's go ahead and try playing around with scaling them up. His legs overall, I probably, so I'm going to make his head a little bit smaller, because right now his head feels kind of big, like chippy style. And what I'm going to do is select this one, and I'm just going to move all these pieces together. Let's go ahead and move this to the neck, and I'm just going to scale his head down a little bit. And give him a little bit more of a neck. Okay. His arms also kind of feel a little arbitrarily large. So let's go ahead and select this. I'm using Zbrush. It has this multi-select tool. So hopefully there's something that can let you like transform multiple objects at once. I don't like that it's selected those, but we'll see. So his arms are a bit long, and let's turn on symmetry. Local symmetry, no dynamic. I'm gonna get rid of this detail, so let's go ahead and ZBrush that. Low poly. Like I would worry about paneling and stuff like that in the detailing phase. Maybe let when you guys do the hard surface modeling, worry about like how panels work and how they look. Let's just worry more about large forms, in my opinion. How to make our character feel, I don't know, his design feel purposeful. So again, a lot like this one, I want to lose these edges personally, just because he stops feeling sleek. Get some tapering maybe coming down to his wrist. I don't know. I would almost rethink this whole form here. So let's go ahead and I'm going to delete this. Okay. I'm going to insert. Let's see, what would be a cool shape? Insert. Well, let's start with a cylinder at least. I'm just going to go ahead and bring that over, pull that up. I'm going to go ahead and taper it. This thing has like a weird tool, this one right here, but I think I could do that. There we go. So we just get this little weird tapery thing. And it's not a very intuitive tool, I'll be honest. Even if you come and try to learn ZBrush, it's not going to be very helpful, in my opinion. But we can always set up some kind of office hours thing if you did want to try to learn ZBrush. So let's see, I'm going to pull that down. I might do something kind of similar to what we've got on the legs, right? You have this compound shape, like this thick muscle part, and then the knee part, and then we have the same thing up here. So let's maybe do that. So we'll do something like that. And then duplicate. See if we can I turn this off? Oh. Delete. There we go. And scale. we just do something like that, maybe. And what we can do is come here. If Nomad Sculpt has booleans, let's go ahead and merge these down. I'm just going to merge them down. Okay, mirror, mirror and weld. Oop, turn off local symmetry, mirror and weld. All right, so if Nomad Sculpt has booleans, booleans is a great way to like add that kind of cool paneling kind of shape, or so if I did something like this where I went insert cylinder, scale it down, rotate it, if I wanted to get this like some kind of cutout shape over here, scale this out this way. All right, I can set this to subtract, turn on live boolean. So in Zbrush, it would be something like this, where I can scale that up, scale that down. So you wanted to get this like cool planar shape, I don't know. But booleans are a great opportunity to be able to do that kind of thing. Because then you can get some like really perfect shapes without having to mush things around. But I'll leave that to you if that is something that you do want to do. But I might use those on occasion. So I'm actually not going to use it like that, but I'm going to scale it up, scale it down, maybe get something kind of like that. Mirror, mirror and weld. Cool. All right. So something I'm going to do is his torso feels a little too short compared to like how he feels right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do multi-select. Let's go ahead and clear that out. Cool. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select this. Select this. I'm not going to get these guys just because they're all kind of combined into one object. All right. I think just making his torso just slightly longer, make him feel a little bit better. All right. Move that down. This stuff, we can go ahead and maybe scale that up. Just push up there. I'll probably take this thing. Where's this thing? Oop. Let's go ahead and extend this one down. We can refigure kind of like what's going on in this torso if you want to. Cool. Let's see. I would maybe consider these things just being like, him just having like a normal, just a simpler upper arm. So let's go ahead and bring this to a low poly mesh, just so I can really control its shape. And just so you know, I've never made a robot before, or I've never, made it like a cool mecha guy like this before, so I might be doing a terrible job, I'm not sure. I'm not super big on these kinds of things, like how these are kind of like, let's do auto groups, mirror and weld. Okay. I'm just going to get rid of all those. Delete hidden. Because I kind of liked, there's something about some of these having those panels on them, those big fat shoulder thingies. So I might do that. Like I think what you guys are going for is, you guys are kind of going for these ones, like this, like that kind of feeling, right? Sleek and cool. So let's go ahead and try to keep him pretty sleek and cool. So I'm going to take this. Go ahead and Z-mesh this really low so I can get this to be more responsive. All right. This is still pretty measure. I'm going to mirror it across the z-axis. Oops. Local symmetry. There we go. It's kind of a weird shape. I'm going to go ahead and just delete it. Say okay. I'm going to insert a, oh, cancel. Insert. Come on. Cylinder. I'm going to go ahead and delete half of it. So let's do, we'll do this. I'll do slice curve. Cut. Cut. And cut. Oh, shit. A delete hidden. And you might be like, like, this is all cool and all, but why, how am I supposed to do this? You're doing all these things using your tools, so in general, like, don't worry about the specific ways I'm doing it. You're just trying to get the same kind of idea is what I'm trying to do. If you want to kind of match what I'm trying to do. So I don't know why that didn't work. That should be double-sided now. It's frustrating. Double-sided. Weird. Maybe it doesn't work with the live boolean. I bet that's it. Yeah, it doesn't. It's annoying. Cool. So I'm gonna pull this back. I can do that tapering thing again if I wanted to. Oh, that's weird. Let's go ahead and do accept. And I'll just do that. Maybe let's taper that down a little bit down here. I don't know. I'm just playing around, just seeing what's cool. Oop, accept. Okay, dynamic. And let's do mirror weld. Oop, turn off symmetry. Mirror weld. Let's see. So now I have symmetry on. Gonna try to figure out kind of what feels good. This doesn't, to some degree, this stops feeling less sleek. So I do want to kind of have this contribute to the character's feeling of being sleek. Yeah, I'm just totally messing up that shape. I would not be afraid to remodel any of this stuff. Like, I'm saying that to you, not as in like personally. The more you, kind of, I would want to be focusing on some big shapes, trying to do everything as, kind of loosely as possible, right? Let's see. And I can go ahead and give this some thickness. I think I would do that under edge loop. Oops. Oops. There we go. And it kind of gives a nice curvature too. So let's go and get. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Sure. So oh, that's too much polish. Let's do that. Too much. Too much. And too much thickness. Let's bring that down. Bring that down to 1. Actually, let's see what happens if we do 0. I like 1. Let's do that. Okay. Yeah, I mean, these things can be cool, but right now I'm definitely not sold on what I've made here. Hmm. Got like Frieza, kind of. Well, I think these are kind of cool. All right, I'm gonna bring his hips up a little bit. Let's see his shoes. I think I would just remodel his shoes from scratch, because these are a little too clunky or too chunky right now. So let's see. Let's delete that. Okay. Let's delete. Select that. Delete that. Okay. Delete that. Okay. I think I would probably figure out how to make the shoes differently. Um, I would definitely encourage you to let's leave those ones there so I know where his feet are going to be. Um, I don't think that's doing it with a bunch of squares is going to work really well. So just to be aware. I think these are pretty neat here. I don't know if I like this right here, mostly just because I don't feel like I feel it anywhere else in the character. But let's see. And we're not worrying too much about like hard surfaces or perfect surfaces because we can go back and fix all that stuff up. Let's see. Let's go. I'm gonna grab all these guys. Those are gonna be one object. Split hidden. Okay. And let's turn on symmetry. I think there's something cooler we could do with this chest. Like this kind of feels. I like that you guys are doing the bug thing, but let's go ahead and do something a little. Let's see. So I'm gonna go ahead and. Let's go ahead and like that again, a little less boxy. Again, I might just bring this down. Zero measure. Hey, let's see. Polish that. Zero measure it one more time. Let's go ahead and run clay polish. Nope. Okay. Let's add a subdivision and run clay polish. Okay, cool. Whatever. I'm just trying to get something that works. Okay. I'm just gonna make this have very intentional shapes to it. Make it feel kind of like a rib cage. Let's make sure I have perspective on. Sculpting without perspective. It's not great. Not happy about it, but take a look at it again in a little bit. You can see how kind of low form basic I'm kind of going. Right? I have my brushes just everything's just responding really, really fast. It's definitely an ideal situation to be in at this stage. Oops. Oop. Let's see. Bring that down. I don't need these little. I mean, it's it's good for you guys to, like I said, figure out the mechanics of this all. But let's see, probably just hide these for now. Okay, they're already split. Okay, cool. Hmm. Yeah, just to check my time. Okay, cool. Good. I like these being kind of open on top, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna do the same thing with that Boolean stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert a just a sphere. We're gonna flatten it, scale it down, get up, rotate it. Scale it down. Let's subtract it out. And pull this up to here. Kind of like the idea of like his, kind of feel like right here is like his whole hip region's just like, oh, let's go ahead and go to that asset. A mirror welds. Okay. His whole hip asset looks over here like flat, you know? So that's kind of cool. So I'm just going to emphasize that. It's too wide, but it's kind of cool. And you guys can decide what's cool or not. I mean, you have really cool designs, Mabel. I'll let you know that. Your design stuff is really cool. We're just trying to translate and figure this stuff out in 3D, which is a bit harder, right? It's a different skill set, right? It's a different way of thinking, and just getting used to like a workflow and tools that can help you with that is, you know, it takes time. Yeah, these legs are really hard for me to figure out. All right. Still feels, let's see, kind of chibi-ish. So let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and select these guys. I think the hand, those. Let's go ahead and do here. Here, I'm gonna scale his hands down a little bit. Probably make his arms just slightly shorter. You know, on a normal scaled person, you know, human person, like your tips of your fingers should be like coming to where around your middle of your thighs are. So we might just want to make his arms shorter. Let's do that all together though. Let's see. Select that, select that, select that. And I know there's this missing thing, this hidden subtraction object. This guy? Yeah, this guy. Let's make him not hidden. And now let's subtract him. There we go. Let's try just shrinking his arms a bit. Okay. Now let's shrink his hands a little bit. Okay. And split those parts out. Split him. Let's turn that off. Pull these pull these guys back down. Center, maybe make scale these up a little bit. Pull them in. I don't know what these guys aren't really accomplishing as much anymore. But let's see. All right. I want to take a look at his face. Let's see. A little too blocky. I mean, I'm looking kind of at this one right here. His visor is like the really prominent part. So let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and take this. I'm gonna go ahead and do something like this, where I'm gonna go fill up the different material. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna polish it. Really aggressive with that polish. I just want it to be round again. Scale that forward. I'm gonna take this. We're gonna push this all back. So turn on symmetry. Oop. Let's go ahead and zero mesh this guy again. Down low. All right. Turn dynamics subdivision. I'm looking at this one. He has pretty much just like a round sort of head or helmet. Maybe we'll lose this right here. Oop. 7. Oh, I did not mirror it, so mirror weld. There we go. All right, let's take a look at this guy. We gotta fix this stuff. Let's see. Let's mirror and weld. Oop, let's turn off the symmetry. Mirror and weld. Oops. I like that better. Okay. Now this clip curve brush essentially is just gonna cut off parts of my mesh below and above line. Oop. I think it should go this way. Oh, okay. There we go. Let's make sure his helmet feels sleek, just like this does too. Make sure it's mirrored. Oops. I don't like the idea of this thing right here at least, jutting forward though. Let's go ahead and rotate that forward. Kind of like a beetle horn, right? Let's go ahead and get it to wrap a bit though, because right now it's too, let's see, bend curve. Let's try this. Oh, not that way. This? Nope. This way? No, okay. Oh, right. This one's really confusing. Let's try this. Not that way. Nope. This is confusing. Okay. Bends that way, no? No? Okay. Let's try one of these other ones. Bend arc. I will say these tools are awesome, but not. So this is twist, radius, angle, twist. No, probably want to do this. This sounds weird. I really just want it to frickin' bend like a cylinder. That'd be a better one. Crease deformer, slice tipper, smooth, twist, skew. Yeah, I feel like this one should work. I just have not used this one enough to know this works. Oops, no, I want it to be like that. This is smoothness. This one is smooth. I want that smooth 300. Oh, that just smooths it out. Okay. Symmetrical, yes. And axis 1, 2, 3. I guess it would be the Z axis, so I would want it to be on 3. No. This way? No, it would be this way. Curve resolution. And then how do I do it? Let's see. Do I have to press the point? Bend, shift, align, okay. I see. Alright. Okay, this is making sense now. Still really weird, but at least it kind of works. Okay, cool. That's sort of what I wanted. Anyways, that was a lot of work for not much payoff. Alright, let's see. I was thinking it'd be cool if that kind of jetted forward. Right. And then let's go ahead and turn on symmetry. Let's go ahead and give it some volume a little bit. No? Click polish? No. I'm not gonna worry about it for right now. Okay, cool. Actually, I will. I'm gonna just scale it up a little bit. There's one version. Another version would be, let's go ahead and hide that one. Step this back to where it was before I did the bending. Well, let's go ahead and then the other version looking at this guy is something like this. Something a little bit more like that. Okay, I'm gonna pause here and take a break. All right, Mabel, we're back at it. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna continue to keep working on this. And again, you take from it whatever you want. I'm not gonna force you to or expect you to do any of the stuff I'm doing, but I'm just gonna kind of show you how I've been approaching this. Something kind of cool about this one up here that I kind of want to get. So let's go ahead and make his face. So what I did is I just kind of remodeled this sunglasses object. Let's go ahead and do that really quickly. So we'll do zero mesher. It's going to take a little bit. And then I'm just going to go ahead and give it a different material. Okay. So I kind of like what's going on in that one, so I'm just going to try this. So I do this where I'll clone my object. so I can kind of like be more flexible and play around with it. So here I've just cloned your character um, with the one that I've kind of made it edits for. Let's see. So I'm kind of looking at this one right here. Might try something a bit more like that one. Let's go ahead and I'm just gonna kind of cut out this shape. So let's go solo. Um, let's see. Clip curve. Now let's do clip curve. Go ahead and cut this stuff off. Let's go ahead and do not cut curve. I'm gonna slice curve. Separate those out. Split hidden, and I'm gonna select this. Split hidden. Let's see. I'm gonna close the holes on this guy. Let's see. Close holes, and just see your measure. Same with this one. See your measure. Oh, close holes. See your measure. And then close holes. And then zero measure. All right, so let's just keep playing around with this stuff. So this one is a little too high poly, so I'm just gonna bring that down more. There we go. Give it that samurai helmet feeling. Okay. I don't need that stuff, but that's okay. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and just sharpen this a little bit. Let's see. Let's go ahead and polish this guy. Polish. So his actual robot face is a little hard to understand. Like I don't know how this is gonna work, but this is where I would be looking at a lot of my references and seeing kind of things that I think work and look cool. So I can maybe go for something a little bit like that one. So let's see. We're gonna insert a cube. And I'm gonna go ahead and subdivide it, and then remesh it really low. Oops. And like I said, you can see I'm just kind of playing around and trying new things. Let's see. If I see something cool that I like from one of my references, I'll try to like copy that. So I've been trying to copy this one, but I've been doing a terrible job of it. So let's go ahead and back this up a little bit. So this one, I want it to kind of feel like this reference here. So I'm just going to flatten this in the front. I'm going to go ahead and clip, let's do brush, clip, clip rectangle. We'll try that. Okay, and then let's go ahead and zero mesh that. Oh, what the hell? Oh, okay, I see. Just one more time. This one's really annoying. And then auto group. All right, so this is just a way in ZBrush that you can like essentially. Oh, okay. No, what did I do? Group loops. I want to do panel loops. That's what I want to do. Just with less thickness. Panel loops is a way you can kind of cut what's called polygroups, and then it's like just groups your mesh up. That's what I did. Made them two separate polygroups, and then panel loops will separate them into like panel shapes. And then I'm going to auto group them just so I don't. So, yeah, so here we can see. Ooh. Let's go ahead and take a look at this solo. All right. Okay, so it's too thin. Let's go ahead and give it a negative elevation. Okay, here's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to cut this bottom part off. Delete that. Oop. A delete hidden. And I'm going to mirror this. And let's get rid of that little piece in the middle. Okay, A delete hidden. All right, and then now I'm going to cut off a piece like this. Do panel loops. Let's go and give it some more thickness and do something like that. And then let's do polish by groups. Let's do ZBrush or keep groups. Let's do that. I'm going to remodel it, but keep the polygroups. Those shapes, and that way I can go out here. It's a little, lumpy or soft, but at least it gives me some kind of complexity I can work with. Let's see. Let's separate A auto groups. Separate that out. A split hidden. I'm gonna give this a little bit of a planar look, so I'll just do that. And then maybe along the top ridge. So just turn off dynamic subdivision. Front clay polish. Oh no, his head's starting to get a little complex, but it's kind of cool look. Probably would minimize or get, so these guys all compete with each other, so I'd probably take these pieces, which I kind of like them. So I'm going to split them out. A split hidden. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is just going to scale these guys down. Not sure if I like that. Kind of like this. This toolkit has what's called insert multi-mesh brushes. Zbrush does. So I have all these primitives and pieces I can put in. There's also this concept of like kit bashing. So if I go, so in ZBrush it's called insert multi-mesh. It's like kind of your kit bashing toolkit. So I come in here and then do, I guess they have these different parts. You can download them too, but let's see, individual parts. There's kind of different thingies I can add to my character, you know, just for getting it, maybe not these ones because these are very industrial. So let's do brush, insert multi-mesh, spaceship. Okay, let's save this really quickly before I make too much of a commitment. All right, so this one's got a ton of crazy stuff. Let's see, anything I think looks cool. What in the world is that? Rings. Not that one. Brush. All right, I'm gonna do this on a new subtool because I have well, actually, let's just turn off dynamic subdivision, subdivide. Delete lower because it was smoothing out these objects too. I'm gonna go ahead and try doing the the leg guard thing. So we're gonna go ahead and duplicate this. Duplicate. Do is, oops, bring these down. Ooh-ah. Make that a lot simpler. Let's polish, 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 polish. Maybe I don't want them on his legs. Okay, let's try something else on this one. Oh, okay, cool. Auto groups. So I can isolate these things. That's good. Oh, mirror and weld. Isolate these guys. Let's try on local symmetry. It's hands. Let's see. I'm gonna pull it back. The hands and fingers. I think I would want to model these separately and just worry about them another time. But just like the rest of the body parts, I don't want them to be so square. So just keep that in mind. What are these? Okay, cool. Oops. Oops. Okay. remake the shoes. Let's go down here. Go ahead and scale this down, move it over, scale up. So like the heel ankle area, I would treat kind of like that. Then we can go ahead and taper this one. You can use a brush to widen and taper it. You don't. Oh, what the heck. You don't have to actually use this tool. Let's go ahead and taper. Let's see. Oh, not that. Not that. Those are cool though. Nope, not that. Not that. That's kind of nice. Okay. Well, let's see. Maybe not so much in the x-axis. Work with this thing. Okay, mirror and let's see, measure. Oops. Okay. Let's get rid of these guys, I guess. Delete. Okay. We'll want to make sure we get the kind of the general shape of a shoe going on there. Let's go ahead and flatten it all out. Probably have to extend this a little bit more though. Let's see. Let's go to this object. Okay, I'm gonna be looking at some sneakers. Let's see, sneakers, chunky. We can also look at some of your references, which are kind of cool, like those separated toe ones. Those are kind of neat. Maybe we can try something. Trying one of those. Also, like this one's made of different pieces, like that. So we can give the idea of, you know, the kind of concept of sneakers without actually literally making sneakers, you know. Let me get rid of this other one. Let's see. Oops. Just so it doesn't get in the way, I can just look at this one shoe at a time. Go ahead and get this little more distinct in terms of planes. Not super happy with it right now. Let's see. Sneakers. Looking up some cool references. We got some like this one right here. It's kind of neat. Some ideas to maybe play around with is like that spring system inside. Um, Something that might help is like planes of the foot, planes of the foot. So something kind of like that can help you figure out the shape of the foot, which, you know, the shoe's pretty much still the shape of the foot, just simplified. So if you can find like a simplified shape of the foot, that can help you kind of, you know, something like that can help you design it. Simple sneaker, I don't know. Let's see. I wonder if there's anything that can help us figure out kind of the general shape of sneakers. Those are cool. Yeah, so okay, so I'm probably not going to do the high top. Might do something like that. I kind of like that under rocking kind of shape. Let's see. Okay. So I'm gonna bring the high top situation down. I might make just the shoe just bigger in general. This is an ugly shoe. I really should just start from one object. I should probably just go ahead and merge them. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. The shoe's not working right now. Let's see. This is that one. Okay, where's this guy at? Okay, he's right there. Let's go ahead and merge these down. Merge down. Dynamesh them together. And then I Z-mesh them. Come on. There we go. All right, so okay. That looks somehow wrong. I'm not very good at making shoes, that's for sure. Let's see. I might go ahead and do something. Let's go ahead and do see if I can load in character or something like that. Let's see. Let's go ahead and save our project really quickly. So I'm gonna save this. I'll just see if there's any existing assets in here that I could take a look at. quick look at this guy. Let's see what he has. Nah, his shoes aren't that much better. Let's see. Let's try a different one. Try this guy. He doesn't have shoes, but I want to see the shape of his feet. Ah, they look fine. All right, well, let's go back into our file. File, open, no changes, to save. All right. So now let's go ahead and see if we can get this to kind of feel good on the foot or on the legs. Go ahead and make some shapes on this bad boy. Okay. Let's see. Extract. Sure, doesn't look great, but that's okay. So we'll just do this. And clip curve. We're just gonna kind of start flattening some pieces out. Oops. Polish by groups. Or polish by features. Let's do that. Let's see. Mesh this down. Let's try doing some panel looping stuff. So, all right, let's go with this thing. Let's go ahead and see if I can inflate that a little bit. A little chunkier. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and do a slice curve. Try doing some stuff like this. That. Oh, let's delete subdivision levels. Is that something? Control Shift slice curve. Yeah. And then let's do. I'm gonna do the same thing back here. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna try panel looping that. Edge loop. Panel loops. Let's turn polish off. Let's bring the thickness is fine. Panel loops. What is that thing? Oh, it's the other side of the mesh. Oh, that's annoying. I do not like that. Okay. Control Z that back. Instead of panel loops, let's just do extraction. Geometry or subtool extract. No smoothness, not a lot of thickness. Too much. Okay. Accept. Okay, cool. Polish by groups, polish by groups, polish by groups. Let's go ahead and inflate both of these guys just so they have more thickness. Polish by groups. And then I'm going to Zbrush, cube groups. I'm just looking at some sneakers on my other screen, by the way. Just trying to try stuff out, you know? I'm not, this is definitely not an area I'm very experienced in, but I'm just trying to look at some reference, get inspired, and try some things that look kind of neat or cool from any references I'm looking at. That could be kind of cool. And I might do, let's see, insert a, I don't know, insert something. Let's do a cube. Scale that down, back. Get that little tab, some kind of robotic part that feels like the little tab on the back of a sneaker. Keep wanting to mess around with his legs for some reason. Okay, let's come back up to his chest. Look at some other stuff. Let's see. I kind of like, let's see. I'm gonna do this down here. Brush. Let's just take, I'll just do insert cube. Well, let's just take that back cube. I'll just duplicate it, go to the original one, and I'll just Control Z it back a couple steps. I'm gonna do some, like, try some of those front toe thingies. Oops. Ah, stop doing that. I don't know. Kind of like it. It's too big, but it's interesting. Oops. Base feels kind of small. I've been away from it for a while, so let's go ahead and do multi-select. Select these guys. And just pull them down a little bit. Polish by features. Okay, polish by group stuff. Polish. Let's see. Let's take a look at this. All right, I'm just gonna crease this, or add an edge loop, or sharpen it, however you want to do it. Oh, let's insert an edge loop. Can I even do that? Let's see, insert. a piston. I want to make one. I don't know if this one has anything like that, fortunately. Zbrush, insert. See, not steam gears. Maybe these objects? They're kind of cool. No, these are all for paneling stuff, but I just need something that's similar-ish. Machine parts. Oh, I think I've already looked at these ones. Oh, there we go. Piston. Oops. Let's make sure this is splitting this out. Something interesting can be done with that, but right now it just looks kind of stupid. But yeah, all right. I think I need to sign off and not work too hard on too much more on this, but some of the things I would be looking at is like what could I do with the chest. Um, I would see if you know if you want to keep these shoulder cape kind of thing. One we'll have to test out how that's going to work out with you know, rigging and moving, right? I kind of did this beetle wing thing, and then on this chest I would figure out how that all fits in, like here, like how that kind of structure on, and then also like I think the chest is probably a good place to like really carry through some kind of design elements that you might want to have for your character, like some kind of shape language thing that you're carrying through for everything. So let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure. Kind of like some kind of breastplate sort of thing. I think that's good enough. Let's just do this. Nope. 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 Okay. Whatever. Yeah, and then we put some pieces here, try to figure out how that works. You don't have to use it. You know, you can switch back and forth between like your sculpting software and like some kind of 3D modeling software if it's easier to do. Some things like creating tie-ins or bolts or anything like that. Let's see what else. Head I think is working. Body proportions I think are working pretty well. Let's see, 6. Sorry, I always say like I'm done and then keep working on something. There's something I was gonna do, but I forget what it was. Oh, I almost had it again. Oh, something I would maybe consider doing is for this character. Why can't I move things? There we go. Is maybe he has some kind of collar sort of thing, since he has this kind of cloak. Can make it look like he has like a sort of a cloak thing. Might take this guy, duplicate, and move that down because that shape's already kind of working. That could be kind of cool. Kind of looks like he has a, you know, cloak that goes all the way around him. I might still bring all of his torso stuff down, or his pelvic stuff down. feel like I screwed up that middle part of it, but it's okay. Sales character, not mine. Why did I get that? Okay, I just want a mirror. Not local symmetry though. Mirror modes. And get rid of this stuff. Okay, I should stop. So here's where I left it at. I'll send you the model in case you can use any parts of it. Work on it if you like. Just to kind of show you where we came from, right? I think I focused more on like simpler limb shapes and kind of capturing that sleeker look of your character over here. Some parts I've made a little less sleek, but we made things a little bit more like he looks like he's a runner. This guy, one, his head proportion area feels a little weird, and then two, like he has these bulky hand arms and a lot of squares, so it's got a lot less squares, a lot more round shapes. But anyways, hope this helps.